On September 27, 2021, the City of Yellowknife, community members and the territorial government debated the merits of a proposed location in the downtown core for a temporary day shelter. After listening to the presentation of a homeless advocate, who shared personal struggles of living on the streets and how the 60s scoop play a detrimental role, City Councillor Niels Kong went on to compare the current hardships that local businesses face in light of COVID-19 measures, to that of the plight of tens of thousands of Indigenous children, who were taken from their families by Canada's welfare system between the 1960s through the 1980s. The 60s scoop resulted in the mass removal of Indigenous children from their families into mostly middle-class Euro-Canadian families. They were shipped across the country and down to the United States. Mostly without consent. Many suffered sexual and physical abuse, along with discrimination. They were disconnected from their families, and culture, leaving them in a state of limbo and caught between two different worlds. With no identity and no sense of belonging. How does this compare? SGR.
Councillor Conger?
Thanks, Michael, for presenting today. I think, like, that struggle that the homeless people are going through, the business community, the small business community in Yellowknife is very much feeling that same struggle in terms of survival every day right now during COVID. They're getting shut down by forces way beyond them, kind of like the 60s group, right? Government side, we're going to take these Aboriginal children and we're going to take them away. These small businesses are being shut down by government, and for weeks and weeks on end with very, very little support, almost no support. And they're fighting for the same thing that the street people are fighting for right now.
I just think that just recognizing 60 scoop and comparison to business really aren't comparable. I can appreciate that some may feel that, but really they're very different. But Michael, your thoughts on...
Thank you, Mayor.
My name is Jerry Sharp. I am the oldest daughter of Moiti Kachwalik. She is the eldest daughter of Gideon Kachwalik, who is pictured on the back of this $2 bill. He was also a residential school student. So I'm third generation. And yes, I was also part of the 60s scoop, and I don't appreciate it being compared to businesses here in town, but I won't go there right now. I am the past president of the Status of Women Council for the Northwest Territories, a past Human Rights Commission member. I have been on the Inuvik DEA as well as the Beaufort Delta Education Council. I am the current vice president for Paututik Inuit Women of Canada. So I've taken offense to a few comments and actions that have happened here today, and I'm not happy. There needs to be some serious education. The education needs to go the other way. These lands that we own are Indigenous lands. We are 56% of this territory. In other words, City Hall serves Yellowknife, not the other way around. These people that are on the streets right now have suffered traumas that our governments made us go through. And I say us because I was part of that. My mother was part of that. My grandfather was part of that. I've lost uncles and aunts to the street because of alcohol, because of the traumas that they served. So you're looking at this the wrong way. The way that it needs to be looked at is how do we get ahead of that? We get ahead of that by working together, not putting businesses against our community.
First, I'd like to apologize for my comparing the 60s scoop to the survival of the business in Yellowknife. It was certainly not my intention to offend anybody, and my sincere apologies on that horrible comparison.